guys, so we're at Animal Kingdom. We're not doing a lot of filming today. We're not doing a full vlog, but we are going to be filming the rides that we didn't get to go on the other day when we was here. So we are just walking, just checked into the lightning lane. I'm going to get my glasses today of Navi's River Journey. And no, it's just a boat ride, darling. That's what it says, just a boat ride. So we're gonna do that. The standby line is huge, but the lightning lane I don't think it's that big. I'll show you the stand. That's the standby lane. And this is our line. So we're gonna film this ride because we didn't get to go on it the other day. And they're just going to be like short little vlogs, I think. Got a little bit of a drop into the water. So guys, this is the Navi River Journey. It says it's just a boat ride, so hopefully we don't get too wet. Oh, it's cold down here. really good. What do you think, Ted? Oh, that water's nice. Oh, that water's nice. They're all moaning. That was nice. That was nice and cool. What did you think of that ride, babe?
Oh, it was really good.
I loved it.
It was a bit slow, Katie, I thought, but it was going to go down this drop because every time we say to her there's not a drop, there is like a little drop in there. Like the Pirates of the Caribbean one said it was a small drop. So we Safari. So yeah, she thought like on Pirates of the Caribbean it said small drop, so we weren't expecting much. But there was this massive drop and it was dark and you couldn't see nothing, so you just
pitch black and just descended into nothing.
And just like went straight into nothing. So we're going to
It's just called Safari.
Kilimanjaro Safaris.
A what?
So next DAS reservation is for Kilimanjaro Safaris.
We're gonna see crocodiles.
So we're going to see giraffes and rhinos and elephants and lions and cheetahs.
Crocodiles.
Do you want to tell your joke?
What animal do you never play cards with? A cheetah.
She's been dying to say
It's
that
up
one, guys.
there.
Okay guys, so now we are going to go on Kilimanjaro Safaris, which is just like an animal safari I think, with giraffes and all the other animals. So I'm looking forward to this. Are you looking forward to this, babe?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to it?
I'm excited to see crocodiles.
Are you excited to see crocodiles? Are you looking forward to it? Sienna? Looking forward to it? Okay, see. Sienna's not feeling great today, are you? So I'm not sure what's going on with her, but yeah, we're going to go on the safari. Okay, we're all checked in, well the first part anyway. We've just been told that it might be a bit of a wait because something's happened out in the reserve. We're not sure what. So we could be waiting a while, but we're not actually sure what's going on. So as soon as we know, we'll let you know. Okay guys, so an update, come over the tannoy. There's actually animals blocking the safari.
Yeah.
Blocking the path of the safari, so that's what's holding everyone up. But hopefully it won't take too long to move them, but depends on what animal it is, because they can be quite stubborn, can't they? Probably a crocodile, yeah. You think it's a crocodile?
Because crocodiles are stubborn.
I'm not sure. I think it could be something like a
Hippo.
elephant or something. They can be quite stubborn, can't they?
Giraffe.
Okay guys, so we have arrived at the front gate and we're just about to go on the safari. There was a bit of a delay. We did nearly walk away, but it was only about a 10-minute wait, so we waited. Okay, so we are on the safari vehicle. There's Lee, Kadia, Madison,
Asante San, as we say here in Harambe, Twende, which says me. Now friends, if you take a quick look up above you, there's actually an animal spotting guide that'll help keep track of any animals we may be spotting ourselves out there. No duty eating and migration patterns, we may not see all of them, but we do tend to get pretty lucky. Now, I'm not going to be able to stop for too many animals today, but I'm going to be able to go nice and slow as we start to pass them. So don't you worry, lots of opportunities to take any photos or videos. But we're making our way on into our first location of the day. This here is the Little Aturi Forest. Animals here rely heavily on camouflage, so we're going to keep our eyes peeled for some of our sneakier friends around the reserve. Starting us off over here on the left, a couple of the bongo on the reserve. Bongo are known as the ghost of the forest because of how rare they're actually seen out in Africa. They do a great job keeping themselves hidden amongst the trees and bushes along the top sides of the hills, kind of like that one. That allows them to break line of sight from a lot of the animals around them. But also coming on in, we probably spotted one of the okapi on the reserve. Going to be over here on your right, hopefully a little bit of a better angle that we're able to see him. They're kind of hiding out behind that bush there, you can see. Now, okapi do look a little bit like zebras. They have very similar striped front and hind legs. But as odd as it sounds, they're very closely related to giraffes. They have very similar skull structures, and even the same long swimming tongues that giraffes have. But here we go, definitely one of our rhino friends on the reserve. Let's see if we can catch on up with them. Now this is one of the black rhinos on the reserve. They can weigh up to about 3,000 pounds and can charge as fast as 35 miles per hour. A lot faster than most people may think. Not too bad. Oh, okay.
Didn't want that.
Not too bad, not too bad. But let's see. Oh, over on the right, kind of hiding in between these bushes. Might be a little hard to see. Our friends, the greater kudu. Now, greater kudu are the second largest antelopes on the reserve, weighing around 750 pounds, and are actually really close relatives to the bongo, of course, the ones that we saw earlier. They actually have very similar stripes on their backs that kind of blend in a little bit easier. Up on our left-hand side, we're going to be seeing two of these very, very beautiful birds. These here are the saddle-billed storks. Now, saddle-billed storks get their names, of course, from the bright yellow saddle-like shape that appears along the top half of their bills. Really easy way to remember their names. Super bright orange bill, really bright yellow saddle-like shape, definitely allows them to stand out amongst the crowd. Pretty cool seeing our friends so far here in the interior. We're going to make our way on forward to the Safi River, where our friends actually rely on a lot of the water out in Africa. So we're going to definitely test our chances on seeing some aquatic wildlife today. My friends on the right, you're going to be spotting the first half of the Safi, while my friends on the left, you're going to be spotting the second half. So let's see. It'll actually starting us off a little bit underneath the surface of the water, way down over there on the right. You might have to peer over your shoulder just a little bit. One of the Nile hippos on the reserve, kind of sleeping on it. Usually where there's one, there tends to be a few more, so we can make our way a little bit further on in. Now, Nile hippos weigh around 5,000 pounds, and that weight actually brings them down to the very bottom of lakes and rivers that they end up crossing. Now we're able to see their backs and their heads kind of poking out of the water. Oh, there we go. Don't worry, guys, we'll stop for a second. But yes, that we're able to see their backs and their heads kind of poking out of the water because of the shallow end of lots of the places around here, not only the reserve, but around Africa too. Lots of cartoons and things like that kind of depict Nile hippos to travel along the top. That is the case sometimes. They can push themselves off the ground at the bottom of lakes and rivers, allowing them to go ahead and catch a quick breath of air, glide a little bit, and then make their way back down again. It's actually super safe for them down there. They can hold their breath for up to 8 minutes, and their day is well spent underwater anyways. So their day is pretty comfortably spent, especially down there for such long periods of time. Oh, there we go. Yeah, a little bit of a better view. If my friends on the left, you can see a little bit closer there. There's actually a little head kind of poking on out. That's my buddy, little baby Greta. Greta is adorable, and she is, of course, a baby Nile hippo. But they're kind of sleeping on and enjoying their time before they start their day. Meanwhile, we're going to make our way on forward to our friends, the Nile crocodiles. Now, Nile crocodiles are around 500 pounds and reach lengths up to about 15 feet long. Really, really strong animals. Oh my god! They are the largest crocodilian species in Africa. There's a really strong set of jaws, super sharp teeth, allows them to go ahead and catch their food a little bit easier out there. But also gives us some really good reason not to mess with them, guys. I don't know if you knew, but Nile crocodiles are really good at the game of tag. And you're it forever. Unfortunately, that's how it works. But what I'm trying to get at, you gotta be super safe out there. As awesome as Nile crocodiles can be, safety plays a critical role in our adventures, treks, and expeditions across the globe. Last thing we need is somebody getting hurt out there. As awesome as these animals can be, they can still be pretty dangerous. So establishing those early rules to follow along with, as well as doing a little bit of research on these animals and locations, can go a really, really long way. But definitely just something to think about for your next journey ahead. For now, our journey is actually bringing us towards the savannah. Now, animals out in the savannah, folks are a little bit more familiar with. Just once you kind of think of off the top of your head when you first think of this place. This is home to giraffes, zebras, elephants, lions, a whole bunch of different animals. But we're going to see what we can come across for ourselves today. I can actually spot a couple of our friends, the Maasai giraffes, a little bit further on down the line, as well as a little bit closer to us. Look at that, they're kind of right there. As well as the Hartman Mountain zebras, which seem to be the ones to start us off here in the savannah. Now, Hartman Mountain zebras have a very unique way of cooling down. They're unique in their physical appearance. They actually have what we call a dewlap. It's located along their necks. Folks, make sure we are sitting on down when we move on through here, guys. I know we want to get a nice picture here, but you can definitely pass those phones along here. Not too bad. Really good view of those Hartman Mountain zebras. Like I said, that dewlap along their neck actually allows them to cool down with a simple shake of their head. Coming on up here, our friends, those Maasai giraffes. Very, very good sight of them as we move all around them. They're going to grab a quick bite to eat with our research group out there. Not bad at all. Over on our left as well, you might be seeing one of the painted dogs, or a couple of them hanging around in there. People do tend to confuse them with hyenas every now and again. But painted dogs have what look like splattered paint all over their fur. Very awesome animals, folks. They actually have a 90% success rate when it comes to hunting, and this is due to their ability to chase their prey until they completely drop from exhaustion. A little bit further on up here, our friends at the sable antelope, the symbol of the Kilimanjaro safaris. And those really long broad back horns, really beautiful fur coats. So what a better animal to represent us here in Harambe. But looks like our friends are migrating on over here, which is perfect for us, so we're able to spot them a little bit easier. Now, Maasai giraffes are one of two types out in Africa. The only difference between them and reticulated giraffes are actually their patterns. As we get closer and closer, we're going to be able to see their patterns a little bit easier here. Of course, gonna let them cross the road here, but as we're gonna be able to see here, the patterns on a Maasai giraffe, the very edges of them, jagged lines every now and again, as well as the reticulated giraffes. They actually have a little bit more of a firmer edge on their patterns, but nonetheless, still the tallest animals in the world. They reach heights up to 16 to 20 feet tall, really getting on up there, trimming the undersides of lots of trees, or even the top sides of a lot of these bushes. Now, I'm actually going to introduce you guys to the youngest of the tower, what we call a group of giraffes. Up ahead here, crossing the road right now, is my buddy Humphrey. Now, Humphrey was born on June 10th of last year, and has been out here ever since. He's still super, super young. Of course, you can see he's a little bit shorter than everybody else out there. But he's going to grow up to be nice and tall, just like the rest of his family. Now, we do call a group of them a tower. Does anybody want to know what we call a group of them on Halloween? Anybody? We actually call them a Tower of Terror. It's pretty cool to see that out there. But not too bad, as awesome as it would be to see Humphrey dressed up in a costume. We unfortunately don't want that to happen. It is a little weird, I'm not gonna lie. But they're super awesome to see. You can see Humphrey grabbing a quick bite to eat with his mom right now. Not bad, a really good view there. And just up ahead, exactly what we needed. A giraffe in the middle of the road, guys. We're gonna go nice and slow, kind of like our friends earlier thought that we're crossing the road. Even when they're standing in the middle of the road, we do take our time out here. Get a little bit closer here. Let's see if on the chance that they move on out of the road. I guess this is where our safari ends, guys. But no, we're actually going to hang tight here. You can see our research group recognized it immediately and is on their way to help us out. So you can see they actually have a little bit of food in the back of their trunks, so they're able to go ahead and wave them around and influence our animal friends to move along. If you're seeing a little bit further up ahead on the left there in between the palm trees, those there are actually a couple of the Nkoli cattle, the only domesticated animals on the reserve. And this is thanks to the Watusi tribe. They were the first to domesticate them. Just like that, clockwork. Not too bad, huh? If you're seeing these really tiny antelope coming up on your right-hand side as well, these here are the springbok. They are the smallest on the reserve because they are so tiny. They do rely on their speed a lot. They even earn a spot amongst the top 10 fastest land mammals in the world. You can see this giraffe definitely noticed that there was food, but decided to go for the big old bunch out there. But not too bad. Thank you, Warden. Appreciate you. But not too bad. Always a good time to see them. If you notice those wildebeests on the top of that hill that were back there, those are the brindled wildebeest. We're going to see a couple more of them here on the left. Wildebeest travel in huge groups out in Africa, folks, up to 1.5 million at a time. There's a lot of room out in the savannah, which is super convenient, not only for the given size of their groups, but because of how much they migrate. They actually move about 500 to 1,000 miles a year. Even when they're eating, they're actually moving along. They kind of graze the grass. The only time they're going to stop moving along is if they do need to rest or sleep on up a little bit. But we do have lots more to see here in the savannah, so we'll keep moving along. If you haven't spotted your favorite animal yet, don't you worry. Lots more opportunities a little bit further on ahead here. We have a total of 110 acres of land here in the reserve alone. Of course, that's dedicated to the parts that we're able to see here, but a lot more of it past all these trees and bushes lots more locations for these animals to migrate on over to. Of course, we want to give them a little bit of privacy. Them being watched all the time is not the greatest feeling, so we definitely want them to feel nice and comfortable out here. And of course, we can see way over there on the right, one of the African elephants on the reserve. We can actually get a little bit closer here, as actually a recent grow just closed. But it also gives us a great opportunity to spot our elephant friends. They're incredibly intelligent wildlife folks, have a fantastic memory, they even have a pretty good sense of humor. Here we go. Not the greatest sight, nor is it most flattering, but pretty good sight. But here we go, folks, making our way on through here. There's actually another location that we can visit ourselves. We call the family area, a little bit more of an open space where these elephants tend to come and go on and off the reserve. So we can test our luck out there, spot a family or two. But it is thanks to our researchers that we do find out a ton about not only elephants, but all the animals around the place. You can see them pretty easily right there too. But especially elephants is what we wanted to pay close attention to because they're such large animals. We need to understand everything there was about them. How much they eat, what they eat, how much room they needed, whatever it may be, we definitely wanted to understand everything about them. But pretty early on in our discoveries, we found out some pretty interesting stuff. Now, we weren't really looking for this kind of thing, but we accidentally found out that elephants are afraid of bees. Pretty good information, not necessarily for us, but for our friends out in Kenya. At the time, those farmers had a little bit of a problem. Elephants would show food and leave a whole mess behind. But of course, these elephants are doing it because they're hungry. Because they're such large animals, they need to eat lots and lots of food in order to keep up a healthy diet. Now, while that's alright, we want them to eat a lot. We don't want them, though, to eat into the crops that these farmers are growing. Of course, it's their responsibility to feed thousands of other people out there. So using the knowledge of the bees, these farmers came up with a fantastic idea. They came up with what we call beehive fences. These are wooden boxes that pretty much work like amplifiers and actually homes for these bees. They make a whole bunch of noise. The farmers plant them all along their crops, and it allows them to go ahead and live side by side pretty peacefully. These farmers can actually protect their crops a little bit better now. They even benefit from the honey that the bees make. And it allows these elephants to understand where to go, where not to go. These farmers actually also monitor elephants alongside us here at Disney. We have nonprofit organizations stationed all along Africa. We partner with those farmers. We need to make sure that these elephants are well taken care of. Unfortunately, poaching is still a very, very big problem. Not only are elephants being affected, but rhinos, painted dogs, so on and so forth. Lots and lots of animals and wildlife out there are being affected by these very, very unfortunate practices out there. When one animal gets affected, the others get affected, folks. The circle of life is exactly that. It's a circle. It'll keep going round and round and round in an infinite loop. And it's in our best interest to kind of protect these animals, folks. We want to do our very best to ensure the safety and protection of all living beings here on planet Earth. A really good view of our elephant friends there. We're going to make our way on forward here to Flamingo Island, home to the greater flamingos. Now, they have got the lightest shade of pink of all their species, and this is thanks to their diets. Their diets actually consist of brine shrimp and other water creatures that are really high in keratin. That's what's turning their feathers and skin pink. But you can see a couple of them kind of sleeping on, and still a couple of them starting to wake on up, making their way around the island. But not bad at all. Now, you might be spotting a couple of them that are still a little bit gray. That's because they're still super, super young. But 8 or 9 months ago, there were tiny little gray fur balls out there. It was a lot of fun to see. They were super, super cute. I couldn't even walk into the deep end of the water yet. But now, after all that time has passed, they're super tall now. All they have pretty much all to do is grow in those pretty pink colors. And not bad, not bad. We're going to make our way onto the second end of the savannah. See what our friends are doing out over here. Coming right on in over here on our left is actually a giant mud wallow. Now, mud wallows are perfect for our friends rhinos. Rhinos love them. They get to roll around in it, gets all over their skin. They even get to play around with each other every now and again. But it kind of prepares them for the day. They use it like a natural sunscreen. Now, it is a beautiful day out today, not only for us, but of course our animal friends. So it doesn't seem like it's been used. You can see here on the left, that little green layer on the top definitely lets us know that it hasn't been used in a bit, but that's okay. We can still keep our eyes peeled for them. despite how large rhinos are, for some reason they are incredibly sneaky. They're not that loud, which is super weird to think about, but definitely awesome animals when it comes to hiding. They do a great job keeping themselves hidden for the most part. Oh, we can make our move along here. A couple of Kopi rocks over on the right that we can visit ourselves. It doesn't seem like there's a ton out on this end, which is just fine. We'll go ahead and make our way on over to those Kopi rocks now. Kopi rocks are awesome things to keep an eye out for. It's actually home to some of the most familiar animals out there. You can even deem them to be the most popular. They are actually home to lions. Lions love Kopi rocks. Crossing the road right now, one of the water buck on the reserve. Like their name entails, never too far away from a water source. If you're seeing that little ring on their butt, that ring is actually an awesome thing for their young to keep track of. During the nighttime, they actually start to glow thanks to the moonlight. It bounces off the white ring on their booty, and it allows them to go ahead and keep track of their families. It's a lot of fun to see them, but we're going to leave it be. Let's see if we can spot some of those lions out here today. Now, it is still a little bit warm in the sun. These are still really big cats with really thick fur coats, so if they aren't out and around today, that's all right. No worries. One of the rhinos on the reserve. There we go. A little bit of a view of him here. Grabbing a quick bite to eat. As well as one of the bontaboks, that sweet little antelope a little bit further on down that way. Not bad at all. But it doesn't seem like there is a ton of our lion friends out today. That's alright. Not a problem. Usually whenever we spot lions during the daytime anyways, they actually rest a little bit more than others. They spend about 20 hours a day sleeping and resting, keeping their energy up, simply because they are the largest carnivores in Africa. Now because they do spend so much time resting, they are actually nocturnal animals, so a little bit later on in the day, we're more than likely going to be able to spot them out there. Over here on the left, we definitely remember our friend Pumbaa from the Lion King. Pumbaa is a warthog, and a couple of his friends hang out here on the reserve. You can see them kind of moving around here, grabbing a bite to eat. That little bit of a mud pit next to that one, they're kind of standing still. Great for them to go ahead and roll around. They're one of the larger burrowing animals out in Africa, which means they do rest in the holes down there. You might have seen them. Another view of our rhino friends. You're seeing those giant eggs. Those eggs are actually ostrich eggs, the largest ones in the world.
Whoa.
Not those in particular, but the ones that they do lay do get very big. And they almost weigh as much as 24 regular chicken eggs. One more look at our friends, those warthogs, passing on by. It doesn't seem like there is a ton left for us to see here in the savannah. We do have one last location on our list today, though. Up ahead here is Magadi Glen. This has recently turned into one of my favorite locations on the reserve. This has been home to the Nigerian dwarf goats for about a year now. They're about 2 feet tall. They didn't need a ton of room. We figured, why not? Let's get them on out here. Lots of our friends are able to visit them every single day now. They make thousands of more friends every single day thanks to you guys. But the reason it recently turned into my favorite location is because they just had babies. So there are baby goats on the reserve. You can actually see all of them out here. I don't know what they're doing, but they're just kind of hanging out. You can see a whole bunch of them out here. The cutest bunch of animals you're probably ever going to see. They more than likely are waiting for the warden to come on out. The warden takes care of them. You see that little shack right there? That's where they trade in and out their equipment amongst the teams out around the reserve. So, whenever they come on by, they do end up taking care of the goats. I'm not jealous or anything, but they play with them every single day, all day long. It's totally cool. But, of course, it's always fun being able to introduce you guys to them. And of course, an awesome animal and a great way to actually wrap up our adventure here in the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. We're going to be making our way on back towards the village now. Hopefully you saw your favorite animal today, as we did see a ton of them. If not, that gives you a great excuse to join us again for another safari. And hopefully we don't have another holdup like we did earlier, and you'll be able to get on out here pretty easily. If you do have any of those lightning lane passes, definitely keep those in mind. That they do work out here for Kilimanjaros, so you'll be able to get on out here for another safari. But make sure it is before 7 o'clock. That is when our last safari departs from the village and closes down for the rest of the night. That does go for a lot of the other attractions that involve animals. Not too sure if it's during the weekday or if it's for the weekend, but lots of the attractions, shows, and the trails that you guys get on that involve these animals close down a little bit sooner than the rest of the park. So keep that in mind. Hopefully that helps you better plan out the rest of your day. With you.
So that was really good, guys. I really enjoyed that. Did you enjoy that, babe?
And there is a lot of these trucks.
Did you enjoy that?
Easiest thing to find your stuff. If you do end
She was coming here at
any
night.
lost and found items do end up towards the front of the park at guest relations as you head on out.
maybe,
They're going to be
okay,
over to the
maybe we
right
could park
side.
there, yeah?
Keep in mind, that's where all the things go at the end of the day.
So yeah, that was really good, guys. We didn't get to see lions or cheetahs or anything like
Go,
that.
folks. The warden's clearing
So,
them on out, which means we are up next. Let's get you guys
come
back out there.
in an evening when the lions are more
If you're
likely
trying to
be
get
out,
onto
because
those
they want to
wheelchairs,
turn
ECB
around.
chairs, or even grab your strollers.
It's Donald and his friends on the Discovery River.
They're blowing Katie a kiss. So guys, our very last ride at Animal Kingdom today is going to be Dinosaur.
Yay!
So Ken's really excited about this one.
I actually am. I don't like.
I'm not sure what to expect, to be honest. I don't even know where it is. Oh, over there. So the sun's come out. It's got a lot warmer, hasn't it?
Not too.
But we're going to head out of here and after this ride, and we're going to get some lunch, possibly golden coral. And then we're going to head back to the villa for a little while. We may go back out later, we're not sure. Okay guys, change of plan. Obviously Katie, I saw that it said dark places and scary dinosaurs, and that was it. And she was like, nope, ain't going on it. I'm not overly fussed. All I was worried about is Kenzie got to go on it.
Neck problems?
But you wasn't that fussed on it either, was you? You wasn't that fussed on it either, was you?
I just remembered. She wouldn't have liked it. If I remember rightly, isn't this the one we watched where it had that Tyrannosaurus Rex head that come out through the wall?
No, that's at a Universal.
Is it?
Yeah. That's at Universal. So yeah, Sienna, Madison and Kenzie have gone on, but we stayed off with Katie.